How's it going, everyone? We're back with another video, and this time we are back with a pre-rift kind of deck construction video. I did end up going 3-0 at my pre-rift. The pools themselves were not recorded because my phone kind of bugged out, unfortunately, but I was able to record the pack winnings from going 3-0, which if you haven't seen, check out the latest short. We did pull, spoiler alert, so if you don't want to hear it, go to that short, then come back. We did pull a Crystals alt art. Kaisa, I think is what it's called. I thought it was an over number. It's just an alt art. No way, bro. I'm going to pass out. I can't. I'm super happy with that pull. But we did end up going 3-0 with the Kennen seeded kit. So that is guaranteed. The Kennen, these two Kennens. And to start, I just want to say that this Kennen is broken and sealed. If you don't pull Kennen seeded kit, but you do pull this Kennen, please try to find a way to play this unit. One, going second, you're guaranteed a 3-drop, which means that you don't have to really fill in your deck with too many 3-drops because you're guaranteed to play one. And Kennen says, when you play me or I attack, you may pay 2 runes to stun a unit. So when it swings in, pay 2, stun a unit, right? And you're thinking, well, he only has 2 might, so like, what is he going to get over? Well, while there's a stun enemy unit at that location it's at, it's going to get +2. Not only that, but Kennen can be hidden, and when you flip to play him, you can pay that 2 to stun something and then get +2. And usually in the sealed format, like stunning and then just like removal base, it's not necessarily removal, but your unit won't die in combat, so you might just end up bouncing back if you can't take over. But for such a small cost, it's just very, very strong. So think of it as like a 3 for 4. And if it's at a battlefield, of course, it's only at 2 if you play it from hidden or if you swing in, and that's kind of where it can get exposed, but that's where we fill in some slots. I don't know what's in the seeded kit, unfortunately. I pulled the packs first and threw everything in the seeded kit all together. But we did play, of course, Order and Chaos, since that is the Legend. We'll go over the Legend ability, too. Kind of a secondary effect. It's really the units that I'm looking for when I'm building a pre-rift deck. But when you play a card from anywhere other than your hand, Empower Me. At action speed, disempower me, give a unit Assault 2. This is very strong still, just in Seal in general because of the flow mechanic. Flow says that you can play something from the trash, and then it's banished, which if you do this with this Kennen, you're guaranteed to activate him, and then you give something Assault 2. Additionally, if a card is hidden and you play it, that is not from your hand, so that will trigger this Kennen ability to get empowered. So very good. Didn't have to use it all too much, but when I did, it was impactful. So, of course, this is my chosen champion and legend. Additionally, we pulled another Kennen in my 5-pack. So, if there's any direction to go that Riftbound was telling me to go, it was, hey, just play Kennen. Like, this just sealed the deal, really. Okay, I'm going to go over, my deck is all over the place in terms of me trying to organize it. Let's try to fix this here. I guess real quick, I will share that we did build into the blue color, and I believe the only blue cards I have are all sorted to the right over here, and I'll go over these first. Actually, we'll go over that last, because after I built the core, I then looked through my colors to see what best suits my weak points, or what were just strong cards. For the most part, though, it's primarily just Chaos and Order. So 2 drops, we have the Noxian Emissary. You can empower this, and it'll create tokens, which is just very good. It pretty much means, hey, he's not really dying because he's coming back with 2 might in the form of 2 units. It's a good way to think about it. We have Disciple of Shen, Shield 3, if played from hidden. So really it can be like a 4 might body if it's with someone else. It's a very strong card, and we just want 2 drops, right? We want to make sure that we have a turn 1 play, and I think I never actually drew into my turn 1 plays going first, which is unfortunate. But just, maybe I needed one more. I actually don't think I could have added one more. Shadow Disciple, this just goes along with the flow game plan that we're going to see. +1, very strong card and sealed. Gust Monk, you can target banish your opponent's spells or any card, and then when you do that, you still get Assault 2, which is just very crazy. Very good. We'll go into just, I had this other 3-drop. Like I said, we also had the Kennen, so we had 2 3-drops. Kennen is just good from hand, obviously, if you hide. This is really strong, too. When you play me from face down, you may empower something here, disempower it at the end of the turn. And it's also just a 3-for-3. Like, if you just play it from hidden, enable your Kennen, hold for 3 extra might, it's just strong. These were another like little combo piece for Kennen. You can pay an additional order power or order rune to stun something. Very good, right? Because then you can swing in with Kennen without paying the 2 might or 2 runes. You can just swing in with the Kennen and get that bonus. We have a tail cloaked Matriarch. I think I played it as a body, but if it ever develops to become empowered, you can bring something back from trash. Shocker, we can bring back the Kennen from trash if one of them dies. So very good. This card was amazing. Spells with flow, you play from trash, cost 2 less, and we'll get into that. This plus the Kennen plus the Alawi here was the real bread and butter. First, we'll go over Alawi. When I pulled her, I was like, yeah, this is an autopilot deck for me now. When you play me or when I score, I play a 1 Might Tentacle unit token from Bilgewater, and it gets +1 for each token unit. The only token units we were playing were the Tentacles, but I did pull 2 of these. I don't know if one of them is in the seeded kit. I do remember pulling 1 from the 5 packs. So when I saw 2 and I saw the Alawi, they just go together so well. And you're going to see another combo piece that I thought of when playing this, but up from deep is just 2 tentacle units, and you can just play really aggro in the beginning and then hide something to protect those 1 might units and stun them with Kennen, and when they swing in with like a 5 might unit, well, guess what? Kennen flips over and you stun them, and Kennen's at 4, the tentacle's at 1, so you just kill their 5 might unit for like nothing. I mean, you have to pay the 2 runes, but not only that, up from the deep also allows you to play from trash, right? And that's what we want to do to enable Kennen. So really, like in 1 turn or like in 2 turns, I'm guaranteed to play 4 token units or like 4 might total. If that's how you want to determine the value of this card for 6 runes total. And we have 2 of them, so make it consistent. Very strong card. Like my board state would be just too crazy for my opponent. We have these 2 chaos spells. This is just good removal. Choose a unit in the battlefield that has 3 or less might, banish it. Otherwise, return the owner's hand. If they develop like a 6 or 7 cost card, you just play this and it just goes back to hand. Twilight Step. This card is a really unique and cool card and sealed. Kennen is at 2 might, and if he ends up holding out the battlefield and I need to take the other battlefield over, I'm playing Twilight Step. I'm moving him because he's at 2 might, but when he swings into the battlefield, he'll go up to 4 might and stun something. It was very good. I don't think I would play more than 1 unless you really had to, but it had flow, but I don't think we're ever paying the 4 flow cost here to play it from the trash. Okay, we went over the up. Here are some other order cards. Kale is just very good and sealed. If you don't know what to do with her, just empower her. She can be empowered 3 times, so she can go from 5, 7 to 9, and if she ever hits the 9, so the 3rd in power, she's going to have the Fleck 3 and ganking. And if you develop a KO and then boost her up twice and swing in, well, your opponent has to put in resources to take over that 7 might. I did bump her to 9-1 game. I swung in. Obviously took over the battlefield, but they had to commit a lot of resources to take her off because she can just gank to the other battlefield. She just applied so much pressure. Very, very good card and sealed, just because removal is hard to come by, but even if they do attempt to remove, they're paying a deflect 3, and that is a hefty payment. This card, if you can find a card that can disempower something or remove something or do both, play it. I mean, I played this, I disempowered an Mbessa, easily won me the game. Like, it wasn't even close because of a card like this. I held it in hand for a long time because you can kind of tell what key and power units your opponent will be playing. Additionally, like, you can just kill something that has 3 might or less. Dragon form, I pulled 2 of these. I should have played 2. This is only a 1 of. But choose a unit, its base might becomes 5 this turn. I mean, this card has flow. I think that's why I only played 1. But when you combine it with a tentacle, at one point I had 6 tentacles or 5 tentacles in base, and I just played dragon form to make that tentacle become 5 might, so it's +4 for 3 runes. And then it goes to my trash. I play it from flow for only 3, so the same cost. Make another tentacle go up to 5. At that point, you know, we're swinging with 2 tentacles for 10 might. And by the way, there's still cannons in base. There's still a really crazy developed base, so they have to put in a lot of resources to take care of that. And usually they just couldn't. So this card was very good. We went over the Alawi. I played this Shen just because I wanted a heavier drop. And, you know, in sealed, sometimes power cost will not hit you too much. And in this case, I was always at like 8 to 12 runes. So I never ended up playing it. I would actually mulligan it because I usually want to play this Shen maybe on like 8 runes. But, you know, the win condition or the little bonus of scoring 1 point was not that. It was just a little too risky to try to pull off, especially because I was swarming a lot with tentacles. Really, it was a 6 for 8 might when defending, and that's kind of, you know, you want a big body at times. I was looking for more of a high-end card in this case, but these 2 were the high-end cards for the most part. So after building my core, there's one thing you might realize, and what I realized while building it, was that it's sealed. How are you drawing? Like, drawing in sealed is very powerful, even if it's really expensive. Drawing, just because, you know, you don't want to just play off top decks and, like, hoping you find an answer. And I noticed a lot of my opponents were unfortunately in those scenarios where they were just trying to top deck with their answers. So in that case, one thing I was looking for when bleeding into other colors was what can make me draw. That was a priority. Additionally, I don't think I needed more flow. Another thing is there anything to kind of alter might at action or reaction speed? So if someone uses a spell, can I react to protect something, etc. In this case, I went into the mind domain with 5 cards. I guess the first card that made me go, okay, you know what? Let's probably think heavily into going into the mind domain is this card. This card is pretty bad. Like, I don't know, you don't really want to spend 6 runes to draw one at such a small body, but like I was saying, I just value that draw so much that, you know, I was so ahead on tempo at my battlefield, I would develop this to base. Next turn, if I, you know, could afford it, I would exhaust 3 runes to empower and just move into a battlefield. And when I move into the battlefield, I might bring Kennen along with me to stun something and just guarantee that 1 draw. And then at that point, you know, my opponent might spend removal on this card. They might need to buff up a unit to get over the 4 might. And, you know, 3 runes for 4 might is still pretty good. Like, that's a good rate might-wise. So I ran 2 of these. Super clutch when it came to just drawing my answers. We had a reaction speed, so like I was saying, I wanted to protect my units, but that was not always the case. So mesmerize, or sorry, there wasn't anything that could like might buff me. This does protect a unit in a way. So mesmerize says that you get to pick one, and the cost is very cheap. So it's, you know, 1 rune, 1 power for the flexibility. So I value this card as extremely flexible for a good cost. Return a friendly unit to its owner's hand. You know, I really value saving the Kennen, depending on how many resources my opponent plans on taking him down with. Additionally, I would like to, you know, bring a Lowy back too, or give an enemy unit -2 this turn. So this card is really flexible for a common. Like, if you see this card at reaction speed, you should try to play it, in my opinion. I would have liked one more. It came in handy. And another thing to answer my drawing issue, once my board is established, I'm playing this. I'll empower it that turn, so it's permanently empowered, and then I can disempower it, exhaust one, tap, draw one. Yeah, just more draw. And then, you know, I don't have a lot of units that end up becoming empowered, but, you know, a 3 rune, 1 power cost to deal 4 to a battlefield at action speed is definitely respectable in the sealed format. So we pulled this into our deck, and this was used against me too. I think it's a strong card in general. Not in general, but in the sealed format at least. Could be in general. I mean, one rune, 1 power is a really good rate for 4 damage at a battlefield. And I knew that there weren't a lot of spells at reaction speed, or maybe not even any, where they can go back to base. So no flashes or anything like that. So yeah, that was the deck construction, my thought process when running this little rat of a cannon. We ended up going 3-0, like I said. First match was against Nasus. They stacked the battlefield pretty early. I just went in with cannon, exhausted tap, stun 1. They didn't have enough damage to push or to kill me, so I would just push back. And I kind of just dwindled down their forces with the cannons. And Alawi came out on curve, so just really oppressive. Second game, I came across a Mel. Cannons were stunning, and I made sure to plan out my tentacles and really prioritize them because they're already such low might that Mel has a lot of spell sling and stuff, so she gets less value. It feels really bad just like targeting the tokens with, you know, costly spells. So I made sure to make sure that they lost their value when coming across my tentacle deck. And then third game, which was extremely close, was against Mbessa. My opponent at that time just knew how to keep the tempo up. I ended up winning 8-7 in that game, and it was very close. But we went for an aggressive hold where, you know, cannons were everywhere. Cannons were always safe. But at that point, I couldn't hide the cannon anymore. They were doing their job in the early to mid game and late game. They were going for a hold. Sorry, I was not going for a hold. I remember the line. It was, you know, the turn before I developed, I think, 5 tentacles. And then I held Dragon Form. And I held Lacerate to disempower the Mbessa. Use this to make a tentacle go up to 5. Use it again from flow, and then really seal the deal by disempowering the cannon here to give those tentacles +2. Well, one of them would get +2 because you have to exhaust the cannon, so it's once per turn. So tentacles swinging in, and by the way, there's 5 or 6, like I said, but one of them is swinging in for 7 might. It was just really oppressive for my opponent. I made sure that they committed resources to my Kale. I played around the Gatoro Roar, which is like +4 might for 2 runes. If something is empowered, I would go in with 7 might, knowing that they would bump up to 7, but I would stun them. So even if they bumped up to 7, I'm going to kill them and they won't deal any damage back to me. So I made them, you know, commit 2 of those cards just for me to bounce back because he doesn't deal enough, or he can't deal damage to kill me, but I can't take him off the battlefield that he's holding. So I really just made my opponent dwindle down the resources. That game was very close. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully these tips help you out when playing and deck constructing. And if you end up doing well at your pre-rift, let me know what you ran. Let me know what didn't go so well. We are really close to 100 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it if you liked, shared, you know, let people know, hey, this is a pretty cool pre-rift video, or check out my other gameplay videos where I play online and make decks. So thanks again. And good luck with your pulls.